Alrighty then, I think we're live. Let's get the show on the road.
Oh, nice. Let's do this. So I guess let's just continue with our
Zig Ventures.
Zig misadventures, more like from last week's experience. But yeah, so I was looking into like what can we do in Zig that's going to actually be like fun. I thought we could try to do some little graphics example. And I've had a play with SDL like in the past with C, and it hasn't been too much fun because I don't know C. Well, I don't know Zig either, to be fair, but it's difficult. So
well, okay. So pause there a minute. We don't know C. We don't know Zig. We don't know SDL, and that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, I like it.
Mate,
yeah, sounds
exactly
right up our street.
So we don't know what we're doing, but what else is new? But Zig, it's really cool because you can use like C libraries directly in Zig. So you don't need to download some wrapper. And the issue with that is you're always like having to learn the abstraction of the wrapper on top of the thing that you're trying to learn. So it's just like an extra layer of indirection. Whereas this is really cool if we can just directly import the Zig library into Zig, the SDL library into Zig, and use that, and we can just consult the SDL documentation. And yeah, it should just be as is documented. We should be able to use it directly. So I have done a bit of digging beforehand because from last week's experience, it wasn't the best when we didn't have a clue what we were doing. So now I've at least got a tiny little inkling of how to get the show on the road. So I thought let's just dive in. Just what I thought we'd do is just get a basic SDL window open, and I was thinking 3D starfield. So let me just share this with you. So I found this guy's web page. He's got a little article on how to do a 3D starfield using perspective projection. And it's kind of simple stuff, but I don't really know graphics. Like, it's not something I've ever delved into. And I know that you're pretty good with graphics, so I'm sure this.
Well, let's not set the expectation that high. So yeah, I've been known to dabble, but that's probably about as far as it goes, I would say. Yeah, I've got the high level stuff. Yeah, so we'll see what we can do. I mean,
yeah.
So when we're talking about SDL, I know nothing about this. You probably know more than me. You could do 2D, 3D. Is it an engine, or is it just the basics, just pure rendering stuff?
I think it's a very simple graphics library, but it's kind of agnostic to the underlying, like, more low-level graphics lib. So it's kind of a library on top of OpenGL, or I'm not sure if it works with DirectX, but I think what's the one that Mac OS uses? I think it can work with that. Is it Metal?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So there's a bunch of different. I think we'll touch on it when we're trying to put the example together. But there's a bunch of different underlying graphics libraries that it can work with.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the basics of WebGL. So I read a book about WebGL once. Some of it I might remember, but I guess if SDL as a wrapper around that, or it can interface with that as an abstraction, then that's probably a lot easier. So I think we can do this.
Yeah, I think it abstracts away all of the complexities. It's just really, really simple. But yeah, So, I mean, I showed you the 3D starfield, which is kind of the where we want to get to. I don't know if we'll get there today. We might just end up not being able to display a window on the screen. I don't know.
Let's just get the show on the road.
Let's get it going.
Do one thing for me though. Can you bigalize your text?
Yeah, let's do that.
That's beautiful. Look at that.
Oh yeah. Okay, so first things first. We want to do zig init exe. So that's created our build.zig and our source. So why does this sometimes happen? Like so
are you using like a cutting edge version of Vim or something here? NeoVim.
Not really, but watch, I'll reopen it. Oh no, it still did it. But sometimes I reopen and that is fine. That doesn't happen. But anyway, I open build. Oh, it's. Let me exit this and just.
This is just like last week when I started out and I didn't even have Zig installed, isn't it?
I really want to get to the bottom of this because look, I've reopened it and now it's not done it. Now it's working fine. It's like some timing issue with the plugins. I think maybe I just need to add like a sleep before anything loads.
It solves a lot of problems. That does, yeah.
Yeah. So if I open build.zig, so yeah, so under the declaration of exe here, I can do exe dot, and it is, I've taken a note, it's link system library. Yeah, that's the one. And then so the first lib that we want is it's SDL2. So that's the latest incarnation of SDL is what I've got installed. I've installed lib SDL on my Linux box.
So when you say installed, you've added it to a path somewhere so that you can import it.
Yeah, well, I just did an apt-get install lib SDL dev.
I see. Yeah, so
packaged when you do an apt, yeah, exactly. It installs it to the right like package location and stuff, so it knows like the right system library location. So this will automatically look there and know where to find it. And then the next thing that we need, because we're using a C library, we need to include the C runtime library. So I guess it's glibc here, but it's just change that to C. So we're linking system library SDL and the C system library. That should be all we need to do in the build.zig. And then if I now go to main, I don't know why this is taking a while to load like basic files, but let's delete everything from there and get rid of the tests. I don't know if we need standard. We probably do need that at some stage. Just keep.
Yeah.
And makes then, sense. So the way I've seen this done is it's const, and you just call it C, I guess, just to indicate that it's some C libraries that you're using.
Mm-hmm. That's just a convention, yeah. Okay.
Exactly. And then instead of doing your normal import, it's C import like that. And here is where you can specify multiple C imports basically. And the way you do that is you create a block, and in the block we do I think it's C include. So C import at the top, and this is C include, and it's just SDL2 / it's already got it there for me. That's quite nice. That it was doing completion over the files.
Yeah.
So
trying to find out what the details of what C import does, but as we know, the Zig documentation is quite.
Yeah, it just leaves something to be desired for sure. But so the cool thing about this is, so I've set up, I think it's ZLS. Let me just check that out. LSP info. So yeah, ZLS is the language server client that's attached, and it can look inside C libraries as well. So because I've done that C include, it automatically goes off and builds
that's awesome,
all the references and stuff. So it should give me some good completions.
I love this whole language server setup. That's this is not like the future now. Ever since Visual Studio defined that kind of standard, I think it's just changed the Vimmers' lives, I think.
Yeah, definitely. But do you remember using like legacy Vim when you had to install 1,000 plugins and nothing played well together? And but now with NeoVim and the built-in language server, it's just everything just works well most of the time. Everything just works nicely, you know.
So can you hover over like SDD, for example, and do like, is it Shift and K to get the documentation on? Well, I think
For
that's
this one,
like a typical keyboard, yeah, for LSP.
um,
There you go, yeah. So you can hover and see the types and stuff. That's
yeah,
cool.
that's pretty cool. Okay, so so the first thing we need to do now is initialize SDL. So because it's a C library, there's some oddities. So it's like, so you go C dot so SDL init, and it takes some flags, but I think we just, oh yeah, so it takes some flags, and I think we can do C dot SDL. It was init video, so you can tell it to initialize everything or just the video. And honestly, I don't know what everything is like, but we're only doing a window, so we just need
gives you a
that.
hint there. It says like what is it, audio, timer, all the other stuff. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think let's just do video. Let's not get too above ourselves here.
If I do go to definition on this, you can see that it returns a C int. So I think I'm right in saying that the way in C, because you don't have like error types and stuff, the way you indicate that something has been successful or not is you return a 0, pretty much like in Unix shell. So if the return type of this init is not 0, then we can assume that it's failed. So we can do init not equal 0 like this, and then I took a note of this one because I thought it was cool. You can do c.sdl log. So SDL log just seems to, like, you can see it says FMT, so it takes kind of like a format string. So it's pretty much like printf. So you can do something like fail to initialize SDL and then pass it a string. And the string will be c.sdl get error. Is it get error mess? I think get error message or get error. They both seem to return strings. So yeah. So that will. I guess it's just going to output as a standard error.
But why would you use SDL log on and not just the built-in Zig stuff?
It's a really good question.
Yeah.
I've got absolutely no idea. But the examples that I saw were doing it this way. Maybe. And then, but that's not going to fail. So we still need to do like return from the main function. So we can do like return, and this is something that I didn't get. So you got this error keyword, and then you can like do SDL initialization failure. But I don't know where that could, like, this could be anything. I don't know if it just takes the string you're adding, like dereferencing into error, and it creates an error from it or something. But this works because I tried it before and it's like, what is that? But yeah, so you return an error here after the log, and that will just exit out. So that's our SDL initializer. The first thing we need to do is to create a window.
What about because if you're using an external library, do you have to allocate that in any way? Because I know Ziggy leaves the allocation up to you. You have to manually deal with that yourself.
No, so the library functions that we're calling, they're just normal functions just written in C, so that any allocations which they need to do, they're doing
Oh, I see. Yeah,
themselves
okay.
already.
That's nice. That's handy.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not big on. I'm not well versed on allocators yet. So I'm glad that that's the case, because we might be stuck
Yeah.
if were it not.
Well,
Um,
from what I read, apparently there's different approaches with the allocators. You can either just have a general allocator, a general purpose allocator that you just use for everything, or you can be more specific if you want to do a particular use case. So I guess
yeah,
if we need to use one, we just use a general purpose one that just we don't really care about
yeah,
what it does
yeah,
in too much detail, just as long as it
yeah,
allocates,
absolutely,
and deallocates.
absolutely. Um, so so let's create a window. So what is going on with my keyboard? I don't get it. When I press tab, it's now going up rather than tabbing. I don't know what's happened to my setup. But it worked before. So now we can do, so it's c.sdl, is it in it? Oh no, it's create window. And then, yeah, so we need to pass in a window title. So we'll just call it the North Code. And then how do I jump to the next thing? No,
Doing
I
next
don't.
thing. You mean the next
Um,
parameter?
Yeah, because it automatically added all these for me, so there's a way to jump between them. But I think this is like the snippets plugin or something.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I've never used that, so I'm not sure how it works.
yeah, I've got an idea. And then so this specifying the X and Y. From what I could see, there was an SDL win pause window position undefined or something.
Down, down,
Yeah,
down.
it's just that one. So, and then let's paste that there. So just go anywhere, it'll be handled by the window manager in that case, I suppose.
Yeah,
And then,
I guess this abstracts away all the operating system specific stuff as well. I would
yeah,
assume so.
yeah, I think so. So the width, let's just do 800 by 600, like old school, and then this flags. This is the part about what the underlying library that you use. I think we do like SDL. It was something OpenGL. Oh, SDL video OpenGL. Pretty sure that's what we specify there. So just telling it to use OpenGL as the underlying library. So how was this? Now, if I go to definition on this, you can see it can return. So it returns a pointer to the window, or I think the question mark means it can be null.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if there's an error. So something I saw. Let me just have a look at my notes. Yeah, so it's returning a pointer to the window. So say const win equals, and then
Use local. Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
yeah, I'm pretty sure there was like an or else keyword I could add to the end. So let's just give it a go. So, and I think this is because it can be a nullable type, or else will either do the type, or if it's null, do this instead. So it's something like that.
Yeah, I've not seen that before.
And then in here, I can just do this error. So fail to create window, get the error, and we'll just keep it as the SDL initialization failure. So we've now got a window and it's not complaining. So the next thing after you've got your window is you need a renderer. And the renderer is what we're going to use to like set pixels and stuff like that. So we're basically almost there. This is just, yeah, the simple setup, I guess. Once you've got this done once, you just like copy and paste
Yeah, that's when the fun starts.
Yeah. So renderer equals c.sdl, and it's create renderer. And you pass in the window. I tried to do that thing again. I really want to be able to use it.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, I think this is like the Z index, or like where the window appears. I think we just do like -1 means appear at the top.
Okay.
Maybe, and then 0. God only knows what that is, but it works. And we can do or else again. Copy that, put that in. Failed to create SDL renderer. So now we've got our window, we've got our renderer.
Okay.
And we just need to create our kind of like game loop just to keep the thing open, because if we run it now, it will just pop up and close the window kind of instantly. You won't even see it. So this is what I found that you can do. We create a running variable that's a Boolean. So we set it equal to true. Then we do while running. And then we need to create like an events variable. So basically we're reading events from SDL. We're saying, do you have any events? I'll show you what I mean. So events.
Yeah, I guess typically in what I'm familiar with doing WebGL, you'd create a loop that would be triggered every frame or something like that. So you'd have to handle the frame rate in some way. And I guess that's what we'll have to do here, is create a loop that can render every frame. And then you call a function which renders you whatever you, in this case, a starfield, and each frame it can animate it, etc.
That's exactly like what we're going to do. So first we've got that's this like external loop, this while running loop. But from what I can see, the way to handle the frame rate is there's an SDL function which is like a delay or something, and I'm not quite sure. I don't know if it takes like milliseconds, and then you need to calculate how many milliseconds would be this frame rate.
Yeah, okay.
But we'll see how that works.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to get too fancy, do we? We don't need to do.
No.
We just need to do a loop with a delay to render it. Yeah, we could just do that, can't we?
Exactly. So the next thing I think is another while loop. So it's while events. No, it's while c.sdl. Oh, it's pull. I remember now. Pull event. And you see that takes a pointer.
Okay.
So
in Zig, there's a way you dereference pointers, isn't there?
Yeah.
With a dot character.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember.
We don't need to do this here. I don't
okay.
think. I think we just need to. We just pass in where we want to read them to. So this is basically saying, while that there are events to be read, I guess there's like an event queue. Then read them into this events variable. What does it actually return this? So it's an int. So I guess that's like while it's not equal to 0 or something. I need to check this. Yes, while it's not equal to 0. So that's the thing. So if it's equal to 0, it means that there's no event, I guess. So then the while loop will just quit out.
Returns 1 if there is a pending event, 0 if they're non-available.
Awesome, excellent. So now that we've got that, we need to do a switch statement. So we do switch events. It should really just be event, not events. I'm thinking because it's just reading one event at a time, isn't it? So
yeah, that's right.
Mistake there. Let's go with it for now. I'll fix it in a sec. So, and then you don't have like cases from what I can see. You don't do this case and that case. You just put the value which you're expecting. So the only one that we actually care about from all the events we could possibly get is SDL quit. So c.sdl quit, that's the one. And then you do this maps to this block, and this is basically just going to be running equals false.
So sorry, just to interject here. So it looks like, from what I can see here, the kinds of events you can do is things like a mouse event or a joystick if somebody's got a controller or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So
audio device event, a gesture event.
Exactly.
But in this case, we don't care about quit because we're keeping it simple.
Exactly. Yeah. I think like if you're writing a simple game, like you do like keyboard events, like pressing your arrow keys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you can do the appropriate handling of all that stuff. But we're just pretty much just ignoring everything. So as a default case, you can do like else. I guess, yeah, just kind of ignore everything else is what we're saying. So the interesting thing here is by not breaking out of the loop, we're just saying running equals false, so that if below this we've now got our rendering logic, it will still render a last frame sort of thing before it. It won't exit in a dirty way. It'll still finish with the rendering and the things it needs to do, and then it will stop running.
Yeah.
So that is about it. And then from what I remember, there was SDL delay. I need to look at the documentation on this because I don't know what it is, but so MS, so it's milliseconds basically.
SDL delay, let's have a look. Yeah, number of milliseconds.
I guess we could just say 20 milliseconds, like some high frame rate. And that's about it. I'm sure that should, well, I'm not sure of anything at this stage, but I think that might work. So if we come out here, we'll do zig build run.
Oh, it's looking good. Oh,
not quite.
No.
So switch events. So extern union. Let's just go into here then. So this is an SDL event, which is an extern union. So these are all the things which the event contains.
Mm-hmm.
So type. So I guess we want to know the type of the event. So would it be events? Well, let's just rename this to event because it's starting to annoy me now. So, and then this might be event.type. And because SDL quit, if we go to that as a constant, I don't know if that's a type, but let's give it a go. Oh wow!
Lost your screen. Is it just display black?
I think the window just came up like full screen.
Oh, so yeah, it's working then.
I think so. but yeah, it like my window just went like really low resolution and then all black. So it's definitely something's working. So I guess that's where we. where we do create window.
Is it running in full screen 800 by 600? Is that why you need to
Yeah.
pass a flag? Because maybe the flag you've passed on, was it the renderer or the window? There was something. Maybe you can pass a flag to say not full screen and stuff. I'm just guessing here.
Well, so the window here, we're saying 800 by 600, and we're doing the video OpenGL. So maybe that's got something to do with it, like the OpenGL thing. Like, what's the alternatives? I don't know.
Oh no. Okay, so it's not the flags. So the flags you've got software accelerated, prevent vsync, and then texture. So yeah, it's not that one.
Oh, look here. These are the options. So you got like OpenGL, Vulkan, driver X11. So I guess that
nice.
gives you a software render. I don't know what some of these are, to be fair. But shall I wait a minute? Am I using Wayland? I think I must be using Wayland. You know. Shall we just give that a go? See what happens. Kind of exciting.
Still change the resolution, like, yeah.
It just goes full screen, and then why is it doing that? So it's
So that maybe that's not in the renderer then. Maybe that's somewhere else. I feel like there must be some option somewhere that we've missed.
Yeah, possibly. I actually wonder if it's due to the fact that I'm screen sharing and it's just messing it up somehow, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
When it's trying to initialize a new window. Because, yeah, I don't know. What can you see? Can you actually see the screen when I
can see like a huge cursor and the screen just goes black?
All right, we can work with that.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah,
get something.
We'll worry about that later.
But I wonder if it's like, is it automatically just doing like a maximized full screen thing? Is there an option? I wonder if we can do a quick search to find out if there's an option when creating SDL.
Here we go. Yeah, so flags, window flags, which is the final option. You've got resizable, minimize, maximize, borderless, hidden, etc., etc.
Oh, where's this? Is this on the renderer?
This is on the create window.
So I can combine flags.
Yeah.
How do I do that then?
Oh, hang on. No, let me.
You're just like anding them together, possibly.
Or together. Doesn't say anything about the renderer type, or the engine, graphics engine. It doesn't say anything about that.
But so maybe I don't put that. So what have I got then? Just like
window resizable, window maximized, or maybe just
window.
SDL window maximized, SDL window resizable, SDL window OpenGL.
So shall I try that and see what that does?
Yeah.
This is interesting. I didn't know about any of this stuff. There we go.
It's more like it, isn't it? That's interesting.
Yeah, very much so. So if I could find that, by the way, that saved me. I'm looking stupid. if I go c.sdl, so it was window OpenGL.
Yeah, that's it.
And then I OR that with this. Perhaps that would now work. Yeah. We got a window.
Yeah.
A bit like our work here is done. Maybe.
That's it, right? End stream.
Yeah, absolutely.
Success, massive success. It's like last week when I, we got as far as creating a HTTP server that at least received a request and printed something to the console.
It was the best feeling ever.
That was a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's draw a point to the screen. So from my notes, I got SDL renderer draw color. So we set the draw color to white, I guess, and then just do SDL renderer draw point. So let's just see what happens. So SDL draw. Oh no, set renderer draw color.
So for the sake of simplicity here, like we're just doing 2D graphics. We're just going to do a 2D starfield.
Yeah.
Perfect, amazing.
For this episode,
this is about my level. This is where we're at. Yeah,
it's all we need, mate. Renderer. Oh, there you go. Tabbed. I can tab it. Oh, render.
Now you lost your tab. Oh, it worked. Nice.
Yeah, that's good. That is pretty cool.
Then RGB alpha. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So 255, 255, 255, and 0. And then I do SDL renderer draw point. This one here. Renderer. I feel like renderer is a bit too long-winded. Just name it R or something.
Ronnie the renderer. Yeah, so that's going to be top right-hand side of the screen. Basically.
Top left, I guess.
Top left, sorry, yeah. Lefty loosey, righty tighty.
What's this one? Not used. Yeah. What on earth are you talking about? Oh, do I need to pass this in as a... Let me just go. Yeah, I need to pass that in as a pointer, I think, actually. So like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then...
Okay.
The errors are typically decent.
Yeah,
understandable.
Yeah, I found that last time. I think it's really useful that it's very specific about what the issue is.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's not like in the reference, the pointer.
So maybe it's not a pointer then. Maybe it's already a pointer. That's why. Yeah, it's already a pointer. See, when I create a renderer, it's returning a point. It's returning a pointer.
Yeah. And unless you dereference it, it just passes the actual pointer and not the value.
Yeah, exactly, matey, exactly. There we go. What's this then? All non-void values. So yeah, this is because this is returning something.
Yeah, we need to handle it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, do we just like do the black hole thing? Like, was it that one that it was complaining about? Set draw color. So I wonder if we just do this, like, just don't even handle it, just assume that it works.
Zig normally does that for you, doesn't it? When you or the LSP does that for you.
That's when it's unused.
Okay. I can't see any pixel there. Can you?
Nothing appeared, and I know why. So we've set the renderer to draw the point, but we need to make the renderer do its stuff.
Yeah, render it.
Yeah. So that is SDL. I think renderer present or something.
Render present.
Present. That's it. Sorry. And then, what's going on? I've knackered it.
I hate it when he does that autocomplete something that he just didn't even choose. Usually when I mistype something.
Why do I keep mistyping?
It was there a moment ago, wasn't it?
So present. I go there, enter, and then render. And you can do or else as well. So that's, I guess, is returning potentially a null value. this is probably terrible practice. No, this is terrible practice, but
isn't there a way to just say you don't care about the result?
Yeah, that is what we did. What we're doing, where by putting the underscore.
Yeah, but I thought there was another syntactic sugar for it. I could be wrong, but
I'm not sure, to be honest. Possibly, but we do have a point. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, beautiful! That's the most beautiful star I've ever seen.
It is quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be fair, I wonder if for this demo we just randomly generate a bunch of stars, and we won't have them like flying at this stage. We just do that next time, maybe. Well, let's see.
Well,
how we go.
we've not got a frame yet, have we? We've not got a loop to animate things, basically.
We do have our loop. This is our.
Oh, sorry,
loop,
we do have a loop then. Oh, it should be easy then. I won't worry about that. Animating stuff is just creating a variable and then changing the variable every time you loop. And then as soon as here's what's going to happen. Right, this is the code. We could spawn the points in the center.
Yeah.
We keep an array of points, and we randomize. So we probably need to find out how we randomize things in Zig. We randomize the direction that it goes, the XYZ.
Yeah.
And then we just keep animating that until it goes out of the screen. And then after it's gone outside the bounds of the window, we reset the point to the middle and then randomize it again. Reset the point to the middle, randomize it again.
Yeah. Mate, I think you've nailed it. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we create a vector type, like a three vector.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got your X, Y, and Z. That's what it's going to need, isn't it? It's going to need like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it needs an X and a Y.
But how does it get closer to the screen then?
What do you mean closer to the screen? Closer to the screen is just you change the size of it. Because right now we don't really have a concept of perspective of anything like that. We're just purely raw dogging some 3D stars here.
So let me pull this one back in again. This bad boy.
Oh yeah, that's a bit fancier, isn't it? So that's changing the.
You reckon we don't bother with this then?
I was thinking like we just get some dots that move outward from the center of the screen. We could start by getting one dot, moving outwards, respawning, moving outwards, respawning. Then we turn that into an array of dots, move outward, respawn, move outward, respawn, and then maybe start changing the direction it goes, X, Y, Z. And then yeah.
So this is what I'm thinking then. I'm thinking we create a struct of a two vector, which has just got your X and your Y then. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, this was one of the examples on the Zig that I was looking at.
So I guess it's going to be int 32, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe.
We need to go up to 800 and 600, don't we? Because that's the width of the screen we've got.
So we've got that, and then we want we want a function which returns an array of stars, basically. Do you think that? I
think for now, let's just get one star. One.
Okay.
And we'll get that moving across the screen.
So I'll just declare it here then. Star, and this would be vector 2, and we'll say equals x. I guess x is so do we just like put it right in the center of the screen for now?
Yeah, so we could just do I don't know if there's a way to do screen width divided by 2, or just do we just do 800 divided by 2 or something like that, just for simplicity.
Can we do that? Because we've got screen, we've got win, don't we?
Yeah.
Is that your way to? So I guess it's going to be c.sdl window just do like.
Well, you've got hang on.
Width.
SDL.
How to get the window width?
It's get window size.
Get window size, and you pass in your window,
and it creates a pointer, so it doesn't return anything. It creates a pointer with the width and the height.
Okay, and that's a C int. This is when things start getting complicated.
Yeah, because you have to coalesce the types into each other.
So if I do that and I pass in win, and I'll say so.
Yeah.
W and height. Yeah.
Yeah. However, with the get window size function, that doesn't return anything. So you need to do this outside of your vector to above it or something like that.
Yeah. So if I just do that like that, and then here I need to declare. And this is where I'm going to struggle. So, what type is this? It's like a C int. Oh wait a minute, that is a thing. A C int is a type in Zig.
Okay.
That's ridiculous. I was expecting that. So would that be? So I'd have to do for now undefined, and then do that, and then this would be pass it as a pointer. Right, I think that's going to work. Maybe
you can cast C integers in Zig. It can, but yeah, I guess for now it's fine as
you're getting fancy now, mate. You're getting fancy now.
All right, sorry, I'm just getting excited. I'm too excited about this,
So divided by 2.
Yeah.
And then y equals height divided by 2.
Yeah, let's get that bad boy showing on the screen.
Oh, is it like that?
You need it's a
X. Oh, why is it not?
You need to do the a colon rather than a.
Okay. And then same again here.
Maybe you can't assign a variable like that when you declare a struct. Oh no, because you've already created the struct of vector 2. You're instantiating it.
Yeah. What am I doing wrong? Can I do it like? Is it like this? Maybe. So I think we need to quickly look at how you actually do that in Zig.
Yeah, I'm just looking now.
This is where our knowledge really.
Oh, it's the dot. I used to use the dot syntax. That
yeah. So is it equal, but it's with a dot before?
Yes. Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Got it.
Okay. Nailed it, mate. Nailed it.
Beautiful. Shall we just
that change I made was okay.
Should we just get that star to show as it is for now? Just see if it renders in the middle of the screen, and then we'll
big time
move on from there.
So that would be drawing a point. So this is going to be star.x, star.y, like that.
Yeah.
And then run. So what we're saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. This is where.
When we need to do the casting, isn't it?
So do we need to do something like as in or? I've seen something like this.
Yeah. That's the thing is the at symbol is compile time.
Int cast.
And I don't know if this is runtime.
Is this runtime? You might be right. Yeah. So in any type.
I mean, let's try it because
it's complaining about it. So let's just quickly Google how to cast a C in to in Zig, I guess. Are you looking as well?
Yeah, I am.
It's the simple things which trip us up.
Here we Have you come across that? An intro to Zig integer casting for C programmers. That's kind of where I'm at.
Christ.
Yeah, so int cast.
So I know you can do as. Can we do?
Yeah, int cast.
I wonder if that's going to work.
Yeah, that looks about right. I think int cast, you're right, but you need to pass the type as well.
Div trunk. So signed integers. Okay.
It's because the 2 is a comp time integer, isn't it? It's not a type. It's not typed.
Yeah.
So cast that as well. Or maybe you just need to cast the 2 and you don't need to cast the...
Do you think I could do it like this? I think it would be smart enough to just allow that, maybe.
That's pretty much the same thing that you had from the start, though, isn't it? I think the compilers still don't like that.
Yeah, I think you're almost certainly right. Yeah. It is just the same thing.
Try just casting the 2 and see if that works. Yeah.
Casting the 2 as well.
I was just thinking on it, just the 2 on its own.
So this as I32.
Yeah.
But it just feels like, can this be right? Like casting a literal, an int literal, I don't know. It feels weird. If it works, I'm happy.
Yeah, I think there is a way to declare literals as a type, I'm sure.
Div trunk, assign integers. Div trunk, div floor. So wait a minute. Is it because?
Yeah,
just saying div trunk. So if we went if we went here, div trunk. So it's a numerator and a denominator, right? So the numerator is the as I32W. Is that right? Numerator, one on top.
Yeah.
So if we delete to that, and then this just becomes. So it's, is that going to work? Let's find out.
This is a bit heavyweight, isn't it? Just to cast a. I feel like there's probably something we're doing wrong here.
So I think it's because there might be you could get. It wants you to be absolutely explicit with how you want the division to happen, like what you want to happen in case of. Do you want truncation? Do you want flooring? Because we're doing into the division. So, mate, look at that.
There it is in the middle.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, mate. Beautiful. You're cooking now.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was a lot, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
So now we need to add. We need to every time we increment the X or the Y, choose one by 1, and then you'll play it and it'll go off the screen and then it'll be gone forever. So that's what we'll do next.
All right. Yeah. So let's do that.
So we'd have to increment the value of that vector 2 in the star.
Shall we create a function to do this to keep it clean? Like move star or something.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a simple one. So
yeah.
I know that's terrible, but let's call it that. And it's going to be S, and it's going to be vector 2. So I just pass it as a pointer, and just say it's void, doesn't return anything. And then we'll just do s dot x plus equals 1. And then here we'll do move star at its address of star.
You're passing in a pointer though, aren't you? So you just oh no, so yeah, you're right. Carry on as you were.
Yeah, I think that's right. There we go.
Look at that.
That is kind of sensual, really.
So what we need to do is clear the screen every time it draws as well. So SDL,
Yeah.
I'm sure will have a clear screen.
So shall we just like raw dog it, like you said, and just see what it's got?
Yeah.
So do c.sdl clear renderer clear, and it just takes a renderer. So renderer. There you go. So that's the right place though. In what color is it going to clear it? I guess. Well, let's just find out. See, because we're setting so we need to set the color twice, don't we? We set the color for the background, then clear the screen, and then set the color. So
you do the render clear at the end, I guess.
Yeah, you can do it at the end. Well, would I do it at the end? Because then I'm delaying, then clearing, and then checking for events. You see what I mean? I think it's the right place to do it, but I just think it's change that to black, then clear, then change that to white, then draw your point, and present. There you go.
Oh.
Smooth as you like that. So it's the most beautiful pixel I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, and then it's gone. It's off the screen. So the next thing to do would be to, when it exceeds the bounds of the screen, it reverts the XY back to the center. So in our move star, I don't know if there's. Oh no, would it be in the move star or would it be?
Yeah, it could be in the move star, I think. So we want to do like this is where we need to get that the geometry of the screen again, isn't it?
Yeah, probably just pass that in because we've already got it, haven't we? Oh no, do we? Yeah,
let's just copy it, mate. Let's not dick about. So so oh, we don't have win though, do we? This is when it starts getting hairy.
Yeah, I think you just get it with once and then just maintain that variable.
Yeah,
because you're not mutating it, are you? You're not changing it when you get the division. When you do the division, you just create a new. So right. Just pass it into your move star function.
Move star. So we'll pass in
with height or something.
Yes, this is an I32, and height is an I32. I guess we should just say no. It's fine. It's fine for now. And then, do we want to say if we'll say if s dot x is less than 0, or should it be less than 1?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it. Yeah, shouldn't matter too much.
S dot x is greater than w, then we will do s dot x equals w divided by 2, right?
Yeah, and we just do all that shenanigans again, don't we?
Yeah, so this was div trunk, wasn't it? Div trunk, so it's w numerator, denominator. And I guess we'll also need to do this for for Y, because it's like if it goes out of bounds and you want to redraw it in the middle, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I guess we could just do it all in one then. We might not look pretty, but we can say if that, or, and then this one is s.y is less than 1, or s.y is greater than h. Do this. Reset it.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah, that's fine. That's good. So it should. Oh. Yeah, pass it in. Yeah.
So that is move star 10 here. So lovely. So
there it is.
shit, innit?
There it is.
Here we go, baby.
It's really hard to see.
Ooh,
there it is again.
Look at that.
Back to the middle. We're winning here.
Nice. Okay. So I think we've got this, you know. I think we could even do the 3D version now. Like,
well, come on. Let's just back up. Let's just.
The thing is, we're only storing the X and Y, right? So we're not storing a direction in which it's got to be flying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, we could do a 2D direction, can't we? But yeah, 3D. We need to start thinking about perspective and cameras and you know, that sort of stuff. It's going to get
not beyond men of our caliber. You know what I mean?
It is on a Friday afternoon. I mean, it's going to get heavy really quick.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah.
Should I play with this frame rate thing? See if that works. The delay. It's a bit quicker, isn't it?
Is there any way we can make that bigger? When you draw the pixel, is there options to?
There must be. Let's find out. So draw point. So
you'd have to draw it, wouldn't you?
DL. Is it
draw rect?
Oh, it'd be draw rect, wouldn't it? Yeah, that'd be it. The point is always a pixel. So draw rect, and what's it taking then? You render and a rect, which is an SDL rect. Okay, let's do that then.
It's interesting you can draw multiple rects.
So here's going to be c.sdl rect. This one, which is a struct. So I guess, do you do it like this?
Yeah, sorry, not XY, width, height, that sort of thing.
So let's have a look what it's got. So XY. Yeah, nice one. So we can do, is it .x?
Yeah.
Equals star.x .y equals star.y. And then we'll do width. Shall we say 4?
Yeah, for now.
And there we go. Let's just see what happens. Shit. Extern structs. But it's like a pointer. So what does that mean? Let's go into here and have a look. I don't really understand that. I'm not going to lie to you. Does it mean that we need to like pass that in as a pointer like this? I don't know. I think this is where I'm going to kind of crop it, to be fair. Oh, wait a minute.
Nailed it.
Oh, it's not filled though, it's not filled. It's got like an empty inside.
Yeah, it's hard to see from my point of view, but is there a fill rect? Is this going to be like HTML canvas? You know, I guess it's probably going to be a similar style of library.
Yeah, definitely. Let's have a look. Draw rect. Is that F? draw rect F, like fill? Do you reckon?
Yeah, let's guess. Let's go for it.
Oh, what?
All right, let's jump to Google. Draw rect
It's
F.
going to be SDL rect F or something, isn't it? Don't tell me I got that right. It's going to be a fill rect, like you said. There we go, look.
SDL render fill rect.
Oh, wait a minute. You're now dealing with surfaces and stuff. You know what, mate? I think I'm happy with the hole in the middle.
No. I think rather than draw rect, you do render fill rect.
Okay. Let's do that. Let's try that. See the SDL render fill rect. Okay, yeah. So it takes exactly the same. Nice one. So it takes the renderer, and then if I could, I think delete to ampersand, put that on the same line. Go. Does it still take the fill? Oh, because I changed it to a fill rect rather than a rect when I was dicking around. So is that the right one? Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, mate, look at that. It's wonderful.
There's a tear. There's a tear coming. It's just so overwhelming right now.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's nice. So do we just generate a bunch of them? Like find out how to do random numbers in Zig? And
yep, create an array, stick your stars in an array, a bunch of instances, randomize. You could randomize speed, randomize size. So I guess, yeah, we need to figure out how to randomize in Zig.
Okay. It should be fairly simple. So we're defining our star here. We want to create an array. Shall we just say like 100 stars to begin with?
Let's go for it. What's the worst that can happen?
Or do we want to put this into a function though that just returns you 100 stars?
For simplicity, I think, yeah, just to keep things tidy, because we're got a decent amount of code here now. So
yeah, okay.
It'll only confuse us later.
So shall I say create stars? And it's going to return an array of vector 2. Well, that's a slice of vector 2. So I think we want to return 100 like this. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I only read briefly about the slices in Zig, and the distinction between a slice and an array. I guess a slice is just like a subset of an array. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's like a window onto an array.
Yeah.
I think. So, right, okay. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to say stars. We say var stars, and it's going to be a 100 vector 2. And I guess it's going to be undefined at this stage. And then we're going to do while. So we'll do var I. So u16 maybe. Say equals 0. So arrays are 0 indexed, so it's 0 to 99. So then we'll do while I is less than 100, and we can do I plus equals 1. And then we can do stars.
Sorry, I was just thinking, with Zig, you can do for loops, can't you? But you can only do them on arrays.
Yeah.
Could you not just do a
right.
for loop on the star array? Would you need to do the while? Although we haven't initialized the star array because it's undefined, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I'm not sure if it's initialized. Yeah, but shall we just try it? Because it's a good. That's
Just
a
to
really
have an
good shout,
interest,
though.
yeah.
It might look a lot cleaner. So it would just be for stars, and then I think it's like
Yeah,
this,
it's
right?
the pipe
So
sort of syntax.
Yeah. So then we would do s dot x equals, and this is where we need to do the random stuff, isn't it? So for now, let's just do it like this. Y equals 1. Well, let's see if this appears on the screen. You know what I mean? Just to, because it'll prove to
I
us
mean, it'll
that
be
that's
100
work.
stars all in the same spot, but they'll be in a different spot to our first star. So
yeah, exactly. So return stars. So I think that's it. But this is, wait a minute. So this is being, are these stars being allocated on the stack? Because we can't return them then. We haven't allocated them anywhere, have we? You know what I mean? This is where we need to use allocators so that we can then create it and pass it around from this function to the other function. I think we're going to get an error. Is what I'm saying.
I think doing the for loop isn't going to work because we've not initialized them, have we?
If I comment now and say stars equals var stars equals create stars, and then when we come to render, so this is where we're rendering our stars. So we need this is where we could use a for loop, isn't it?
Yes,
stars,
correct. Yeah.
S, and then all of that would go in there. Format it for me, please, baby.
Yeah, star is S. It's not.
Yeah, so that's S. Same again. Yes, that looks kind of good.
Yeah, it's looking about right.
And we could, like, you can create, because it's a vector, we could create a star type and have a function on star, so you could call like star dot move, but that's getting ahead of ourselves. But anyway,
yeah. I mean, get a bit more OOP rather than like this.
Cannot assign to constant.
It's so
82 is here.
That makes sense because for stars you're accessing the you're not accessing the actual array object, are you? You're accessing that iteration, so it'll have copied it into S, and S won't be the original. It'll just be a constant. It won't be the original array.
Yeah, you're right. So would we have to index into the original array using the while loop?
Yeah, I think so.
So
I feel like that's debunked that idea.
That was a good idea, mate. It's a good idea. I enjoyed it while it lasted.
It was an experiment. We're learning here.
Exactly. So I need to do var I equals 0. And then this then becomes stars I. Let's see what happens. Wait a minute.
Is that 100 stars? Is that the brightness of 100 stars all in a single point?
the brightness of 100 suns, just blinding, mate. Wow. I think it's worked.
I don't just think
understand how
it's
worked.
worked. I know it's worked. That's yeah.
Yeah, but I don't understand how yet.
Right.
Like
Well,
like the allocation of it, but
yeah.
that's just my ignorance at this stage. Okay, so we're creating the stars, and I think
So
we need another function to randomize a star's location.
yeah,
So we need to recall it, don't we, when we move it if it goes out of bounds?
So we can use the standard library, and the standard library has got rand, and you can create a random generator basically. So you create a random generator, you initialize it, and then you call it with whatever type you want to randomize, and then that's it. It's kind of like I guess most languages do it that way, don't they? You create a randomizer and then you call it, and then.
So should I say randomize star location? Bit of a terrible. That's a kind of like a Java type name, isn't it?
Yeah,
too long-winded and
definitely.
bullshit.
Yeah, I hate it.
Just randomize star. Yeah, it's bullshit. So do we pass in the star as a pointer and just randomize it? I think we do.
I think for simplicity, let's just keep all these methods just operating on our stars.
Yeah, big time. Let's say returns void. So this is where I might need your assistance, or I can look it up if you've got a.
So I've got a bit of a snippet here on my screen, but basically, outside of the function, you can create a the type of randomizer you want. So, like above randomized star, just do const, and then random generator or randgen or whatever you want to call it equals stand. Yeah, std rand.
Oh yeah.
And then this one is default prng. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good.
Default pseudo random
fast unbiased random numbers. There we go. Perfect. That's what we need.
Okay, cool.
So that's
I guess that's going to go right at the top, isn't it?
Yeah. Just.
So now I've got my run. So just R&D.
You need to initialize that now. So you assign initialize to a variable. So init 0.
Is this the seed?
Let's have a look.
I think it's the seed, isn't it? So it's always going to be basically this. Every time we run it, the stars will be in the same location. But that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually the seed, isn't it, when you're doing it?
Seed, yeah. We don't really care about the seed at this stage. We can do that later, can't we?
Yeah.
So then is it just rand? So next, I guess.
No, so it's rand.random. And then in this example, it does .int to then i32. I guess that just casts it, I imagine.
So i32.
Yeah, no, random doesn't accept anything in this example. So maybe the init is the.
Oh, yeah, because it's self.
Yeah.
So it returns random. So if I was to do.
Oh no! You know what? We're gonna need to do some maths here, and I hate maths. we're gonna have to create a random number within bounds, aren't we? So we're gonna.
Yeah, that was what I was waiting for. Like, how do we get it between bounds? Oh, wait a minute. This is nuts, man. So what? The thing that it returns a random has all of these methods hanging off it.
That's pretty cool. So you could do like random loads of different types.
It's cool, but I mean, it's long-winded, isn't it? So
yeah,
all we've done is created a random number generator so far. We've initialized the algorithm, the random number generation algorithm, with a seed, and then we're calling random. I wish there was some documentation.
That's
random
trying to do
it.
It's this is Zig documentation. It's just what am I doing here?
So yeah, so random is returning an initialized random. But when you go into here, oh no, there we go. So this has got, these are all of the, so random bytes into a buffer. So int, here we go. So that's what we want to call. So you just pass it the type. So you do int, you pass it the type you want to be i32. And that's the type that it returns. So that's it then. So let's just see what it returns then.
Oh, you're way ahead of me. I was Googling then, but you're already there.
I was just looking at the code. So it looked like you can do r int like that, and you pass it in the type. So it'd be i32. So if we do var, so if we do var, let's just call it n for simplicity's sake here. So that's some number, but I don't know what the bounds are of that number, and we now need to get it within these bounds, I guess.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I hope it doesn't leave us to do that.
I think it might, you know. So it's saying, here we go. Return a random int I such that min int t, so that I is greater than or equal to the minimum int
of the
and
type.
it's
Yeah.
less than the max, less than or equal to the max. So it's
I is basically a random i32, isn't it? Which could be huge.
Exactly. So it's like it's a closed interval. I think it's what that means. It's from the lowest. It includes the lowest and the highest. But yeah, so then we need to get that.
So basically, how do you do this again? You basically divide the number.
Well, we can just use the modulus for this.
Yeah.
So we can mod it. So whatever the range we want would be, we can like mod it and add 1. So say we want it to between 1 and 400. Yeah, we could do int mod 400. I think. I'm not sure if it's going to be good, but it might work.
Sounds perfect.
So if we call this x, I'm sure this is looking terrible, like it's not the way to do it, but if we call that x, and I guess mod, so this is where we want to really, for now we'll just do like 200, just to see that we've got stars in various different places, but we really want to be basing this on the geometry of the window, don't we? So why? Well, actually, we
just pass it in like you've done on the move star, can't you? Oh, hang on. We lost you. Okay, it's not a good start. Let's see, give it a minute and see if he comes back. Okay, let's have a look in the meantime. Oh yeah, don't want to do that, do we? Okay, so let's do a new tab and we'll have a look for so this is kind of what we were doing, and then we need to get the bounds by doing the mod on that. Let's see where Rich is at. Well, I think that could be the end of the stream. Let's just leave it there and we'll call it a night. We'll pick up the starfield next time. All right. All right. Peace out.